Good morning, everybody. Oh. My name is Jen, the Caffeinated Crafter. Today is Saturday, December the 9th, 2023, and this is Flosstube number 57. If you're new to my channel, I'd like to welcome you. This is a channel where I talk about all my cross stitch. I have a lot of it. I'm going to have more next year. And if you're returning to my channel, I'd like to welcome you back. Thank you so much for following along in my journey. Mr. Whiskers, I have a little bit of a co-host who apparently is very sleepy. Hey, boy. So yeah, I have a lot to show you guys. Before I do that, I have a couple things I want to show you. One is a very old finish from me. My mom had it. I finished it back in 2016. This is to show that I was going to say this is to show that I do actually finish stuff, but as you guys have seen this year, I've finished quite a few things, but before that, I hardly ever did. But this was one of the pieces I did. This was a kit. I do not remember where I got this, but I've seen it like still available. I don't even remember what it's called. I don't remember who designed it, but it says live, love, laugh, and be thankful. Well, not and, the and, so I'm saying and because whatever. But yeah, that was my finish. Let me do this. It's like reflecting. It's like an endless reflection here because of the glass. My mom framed it. She hangs it up every fall. She gave it to me like over a month ago to show on my channel. And I kept forgetting. So I'm showing it now so I can give it back to her and then she can put it away until next year. So let me put that over there. But yeah, I just wanted to show that off. And then the other one is I'm going to brag on my mom for a little bit. My mom cross-stitched this for me. I don't even know when. I was a kid. This was one of those old, you guys see it? Some of you might recognize what it is. This was one of those old stockings from Cross Stitch and Country Crafts. She did one for me, one for her, and then one for her second husband, my stepdad at the time. I think his was a music room. His was like an office. I think mine's the music room. So I must have been in middle school when she did this because it's the music room and I was in band in middle school. I played the clarinet. But this is the stocking. It's very, very old, like me. Look at that. I hang it up every year as a decoration. I do not use it because it's so old. I don't want to mess it up. But she turned it into a stocking back in like 1854. But yeah. And one of the strings on the cello came loose. So it's just kind of hanging out and flopping, which is part of the reason why I won't use it. I love it though. I love this stocking so much. It's so good. So yeah, my mom made that for me. Okay. All right. Let's move on to what I worked on. This is my board. As you can see, I worked on a lot of stuff. I got a lot of goals done. I only did not work on one project. Yeah, everything else I worked on. And I got 7 goals done and a finish. Yeah, I got another finish. What? I did the finish like at the beginning of the 2-week time frame since my last video. So sometimes I actually forget about like the finishes if I get them done early on in the 2 weeks because it seems like so long ago, but at the same time, everything flies by. It's so weird. Yeah. And I got one of my year-long goals completed. Just the one. The rest of them aren't gonna happen. But that's okay. All right, so let's go ahead and get started. Where do I want to start? We'll save those for last because those are my completed goals. So let's go ahead and just jump into my bag here. Oh, so I got a new phone that has more storage. So I might be able to actually edit my videos to include before pictures, which would be fabulous because some of my stuff, I'm like, look at all that I got done. And if you didn't see my last video or if you don't remember, you're not gonna really see what I did. So if I can do that in this video, it'll be super exciting for the WIT parade because I'll be able to do like, you know, beginning of the year, end of the year photos. So that's exciting. So if you see before photos with this, know that you're in for a treat with the WIT parade. Okay. So the first thing I'm going to show you is, wait for my tablet to catch up here. First thing I'm going to show you is California Dreaming. This is by Heaven and Earth Designs. Artwork is by Jeff Haney. And this is what it's going to look like when it's done. This is max color. So it's 700 by 501 and it has 240 colors in it. So this was one of my year-long goals to get it to 25%. It's not going to happen. So this is where I'm going to try to insert the before pictures because I worked in a couple different spots. But since the last time you saw this, I needed... My year-long goal was to get it to 25%. Last time you saw this, I needed 26,236 stitches to get this done. I've done, hold on, because I've worked on this a few times. I wrote 2,200, but last night I did another 1,200. So I did 3,400 stitches on it. Yeah, I did 1,200 last night. So 3,400 stitches I've done on this. And let me think of where I worked. I know for a fact I worked here. This is the little bullet, the little silver bullet house thing. I know I worked here. I got some more of it filled in. And last night I worked up here. I'm trying to think if that was the only area I worked at though. Did I work down? I don't think I worked down there at all. So I'm going to show the whole thing like this. Wow, that's looking good, huh? And then let me bring it in closer and I'll kind of go up with it. I can't see. I can't see. Here we go. I'm going to look over it like a creeper. I can't remember like where exactly I worked for the first, maybe I worked in the same area. Pretty sure I did not work down here because that looks like it's the same. So I think it was all like here and then up here. Pretty sure. I know I'm going to be working on this. If I can get some stitching done today, I got a busy day today. If I can get some stitching done today, I'm going to work on this some more because I pulled this one out last night because in Road Trip, Whip Warriors Road Trip, if you work on a piece with a wild animal, you can take 50% off of your camping stitches because of the place we're camping at. Oh, because it's a forest, but I'm using a seal as my wild animal. And where do I want to put all this stuff? Let me just do this. That was the only piece I had available that had a wild animal in it. So I still need to do another 200 and, well, because, oh, I didn't tell you, I'm doing this on a 25 count, easy count Lugana 2/1 tent stitch. So because it's tent stitch, I still need about 500 more stitches on that for my camping, for road trip. So yeah. So I might work on that today unless I figure out something that has another wild animal, and then I'll switch it out. But anyway, moving on. Next up is Sweet Shop. This is a retired piece from Pain Free Crafts. Artwork is by Steve Crisp. That is what it's going to look like when it's done. It's very busy, very colorful. It's a candy shop. I love it. Take you to the candy shop. My goal for this was to get it to 1%, right? The only downside about not showing them in the order I have written is I can't find them when I'm looking for them. I wrote 950. I think it was 1%. Oh wait, I have it right here. Yeah, 1%. I needed 950 stitches to get it done. I did 500 on it since the last time you saw it. Jesus, I'm like so out of it. So California Dreaming, back up, rewind. California Dreaming, I have done a total of 64,550 stitches. I am at 18.41%. Okay, back to Sweet Shop. So yeah, 18.41%. I'm not going to get it to 25 by the end of the year. Okay, so Sweet Shop. I did 500 on it since the last time you saw it. I've done so far this year, or since I started, 2,600 stitches out of 304,850. I am at 0.85%. I think I need about 450 stitches to get this completed. I have a thread hanging because I had this long length of thread, but I was wrapping up for the night. So, but that's where I'm at. So I got, I think I had a red thread hanging here. I got that filled in. I did more of this part of the awning, and I did a little bit over here. And then I started working on the thing going across the pole, whatever. That's where I'm at with it. So 450 stitches and this goal should be done. Next up is I Love You to Death. And this is from Stitchman Darcy. He has a Flosstube. He has an Etsy shop. Right now, this is the only pattern I have started. I have one more that I'm going to start next year. That's what it's going to look like when it's done. You can put you and your partner's names on the gravestones, but I don't have a partner, so by choice, don't feel bad for me. I think I might put Mr. Whiskers and Gracie Lou on there. My goal was to get this to 30%. I needed about 1,693 stitches. I did 600. I'm currently at 18.38%. I don't know what kind of fabric I'm doing this on. I have no clue. It's a linen, which I'm not a huge fan of because I don't really care for linen, but it's the color I wanted. So it's working. So I know it looks really weird, but this is like the skull, like kind of cloud that's in the clouds. And I decided to like kind of go along the outline of the skull, and then I'll start filling it in because I get bored with block stitching. So I try to make it more fun for myself. But I got all that done. I think I worked a little bit in the, just like maybe the short threads that I have extra sometimes. I did a little extra in the tree, and then I worked this across. So the edge border will be right along this way when I work on it again. So yeah, I'm at 18.38%. I need another like 1,100 stitches to get this goal completed. Couldn't find my bag. Next up. Next up is Mr. Grinch. This is from the Cross Stitch Studios. One of their limited, what do you call it? Like limited edition. They only sold it for like during their 10-day Black Friday sale. I almost said Black Thanksgiving. No, Black Friday sale. This is 175 by 210. It has 30 colors. This is not full coverage. That is what it's going to look like when it's done. My goal for the year was to finish it. Because when I was calling all these finishes at the beginning of the year, I wasn't taking into account all the other projects I was doing. So, because it's only 9,071 stitches. Like, that's very doable. If that's the only thing you're working on. I could probably get that done in like maybe less than 3 weeks. If this was the only thing I worked on, I could get that in less than 3 weeks. Since the last time you saw this, I've done 400 stitches on it. I needed 76, 71 to get it completed. I did 400. I'm doing this on, I think this is an 18 count white opalescent Aida. I'm currently at 19.92%. That is where I'm at with it so far. It's sparkly, but you can't see it. I think it's the lighting. You can kind of see it when I hold it at an angle like that. You can kind of see the sparkle. I see it in person, so that's all that matters. So yeah, 7,200 stitches to get that done. And this is December 9th. And I have a lot of other stuff to do. Okay, next up is Cupid's Cafe. This is from Sugar Stitches. That is what it's going to look like when it's done. I called for this to be a finish as well. I have no idea how many stitches it is. And I obviously had no idea how many stitches it was when I said, I wanted to finish this, because I've done a lot. So since the last time you saw it, I did 600. And then for the, like, since it's, hold on, where is it? I've done almost 4,000 stitches on this altogether. Maybe a little over 400. I did 900 on it before, like, last year. And I've done like 3,000 so far this year. Isn't that crazy? And I'm like, oh yeah, this will be a finish. This is a super easy piece to do. It's not as quick as I thought it was going to be. I'm doing this on a 20 count or 28 count, like baby pink even weave. I don't know the color. I don't know who dyed it. It's a light pink. It's what I was looking for. It's hard for you to see the white on the camera. I can see it fine here. It's wrinkled. This fabric holds wrinkles so well. It's so good at holding wrinkles. And I don't iron my stuff before I show it. I'm lucky I even have an iron. Oh, so if you've seen me pull this piece out before, you will remember that I said that these hearts over here, I had accidentally done one of the colors in the wrong shade. I did end up pulling them out and I redid them in the correct shade. So those are right now. But what do I have left? The trellis on the, like the sides, is done over here. I have to finish the hearts and the flowers, and there's little like white pieces that still go in here. I got to finish this down here. There's a white heart I got to put here, flowers scattered across this, and I got to finish this trellis and the flowers up here. So it's still a ways to go. Like I said, a lot more than what, when you're looking at it, it's a lot more than what you realize. Okay. Next up is Rainbow Castle. Well, Rainbow Castle Max Colors. This is from Heaven and Earth Designs. Artwork is by Sarah Marchetti. It is big and it has a lot of colors. I'm trying to find it on Pattern Keeper. I was going through Pattern Keeper earlier this week and I was realizing that like I took off, so because some of the stuff that I had on there were finishes, some of them were charts that I was trying to load into Pattern Keeper, but they weren't really compatible, so I said screw it and I was working off of paper. Some of them were duplicates because I didn't realize I put it in because it's going to be starts for next year, so I was going through cleaning it up and getting rid of the stuff that I wasn't using or going to use. And so all my stuff got moved around. Like it doesn't order anything. That's one downside about Pattern Keeper is it doesn't put it in any particular order except the way that you load it. And so it doesn't alphabetize it. So you kind of get used to, if it's something that you pull up a lot, you kind of get used to the location of it, and the locations got moved for everything. So now I'm like, wait, hold on, where is it? Anyway. This is 550 by 738 and has 239 colors. And let me spin it because it's longer. That way I can show you like that and it looks better. That's what it's going to look like when it's done. Very busy, very colorful. My goal was to get this to 1%. Yeah. In order to do that, I needed 59 stitches. I did 400. I'm doing this 1/1 full cross on a 32 count easy count Lugana, which is also what I'm doing Sweet Shop on. I don't know if I mentioned that or not. But I did 400 stitches on it. That's where I'm at with it so far. So I still need 1,600, just over 1,600 stitches, like 1,659 to get it to 1%. I am currently at 0.59%. Next up is from Lola Crow Cross Stitch. This is Haunted Library Style. And there's my prologue. You're gonna have to bear with me for a moment because I don't know. So I don't know what I did with, that's not the prologue. This is the prologue. Oh, it's right here where I left it. Oh, Lord. That's chapter 1 right there. Okay. Probably helped if I got the project out too, right? So, this is the whole piece right here. But my goal was to get the prologue done. I have no idea how many stitches it is because I'm working off paper. I did 500 on it since the last time you saw it. I'm doing this on an 18 count vintage country mocha. That's where I'm at with it so far. So I still have to go in and backstitch on the stairs and stuff over here, but the cross stitching wise, from here over, it's all, well, from here over, the cross stitching is all done for the prologue, but I have to go back in and backstitch. So I still have to also do this part. I want to say, one, two, three, four. So the stairs should probably begin like maybe right about here to go down, I believe. That's where I'm at with it so far. I'm really enjoying it. I like it a lot. Hang on, I'm trying to put this away. One moment, please. All right. I don't need to show you this because I didn't work on this. This was a whole lot of latte. I brought it with me to work. I had a, oh, goals completed. I'm like, wait, where's the piece I was bringing to work? So I was bringing a piece to work on and I got the piece done goal-wise. And I was going to switch to a whole lot of latte, but then we got busy at work, so I couldn't work on it anymore. And then Thursday I couldn't stitch at all. And then Friday it was consult day for our surgeon. So we always have a lot of people that day. I can never do anything but actually work on that day. Sometimes I don't even eat on that day. It's crazy. Or I eat at my desk, my computer, my little my cow that I roll around. Well, it doesn't really roll. It has wheels, so it can roll, but it doesn't. I mean, it does. I don't. Oh my God. All right, anyway, moving on. All right, so now we're getting into my completed goals. First up, from Cooler Design Studio, this is Spring Sampler. Artwork is by Sandy Orton. My goal for the year was to do 1,000 stitches on it, I believe, right? I took it off there already. Yeah, it was to do 1,000 stitches, and I just needed to do 500 on it, right? Yeah, I decided to do 500 more on it, and then the goal will be done, and I did. I'm doing this on 28 count tea-dyed Monaco over 2. So my 500 was basically kind of all like in here, and I did the cross stitching, I want to say like right through here, but I went ahead and finished almost all of the cross stitching for the spring letters, and then I backstitched the P and the R. Oh, and I think I came up here and worked on these flowers and this up here a bit. So that goal is done. Now all of my sampler pieces, their goals are completed for the year. Oh, my sweet Jesus, what's happening? Go in there. All right. That's gonna go there. Next up is from Maya Stitch, and this is, I'm calling it Compass. It's actually called, somebody had asked where they could, like, they couldn't find it on her Etsy page, so I went looking for it, and it's actually called like Rose of the Wind or something. I don't know, but this is what it's gonna look like when it's done. It's very pretty. So that'll be what it looks like when it's done. My goal was to do 1,000 stitches in the page that I had been working on. I was working on page 1. And I'm just doing this on like one of those printed Charles Craft Ada 14 count. That this one is like a, kind of looks like a, it's very pastel. Like green, blue, a little bit of pink and purple in it. It's very, works for this pattern. But I went ahead, I just needed another 600 stitches to get it done. It looks like it's way more than 600 because a lot of this up here, I came up and started working in the part up here, and this is all like half stitches. So I kind of have to double that because of the games that I play on Facebook with it. So I have to do 2 half stitches for it to count as 1 stitch. And then I went ahead, and because I prefer to backstitch as I go now. So I went ahead and backstitched, since I had all the cross stitching done, I went ahead and backstitched those 3 stars and this end right here. But that's where it's at so far. How did I have this? There we go. But the goal is done. Got the 600. Okay. Next up is Day to Night Africa, and this is another retired piece from Pain Free Crafts. Where's it at? Here it be. Artwork is by Laura Stewart. It's 650 by 464. I don't know how many colors it has. I'm not counting them. It doesn't have it listed right where I can find it anyway. That's what it's going to look like when it's done. My goal was to get it to 0.5%. I just needed 900 stitches to get that done, and I did. So I've done a total since I started the project of 1,500 stitches out of 301,600. I am at 0.5% exactly. And I'm doing this 1/1 full cross on a 32 count easy count Lugana. So I did 900 stitches, and I started coming in and working. Once I realized kind of what I was working on, I was like, oh, let me work on this for a little bit. Hang on, yeah. So upper left-hand corner start, and that green right there is that bird right there. Right? Yeah. Right? Yeah. So I decided to work on that bird to try to get some of him like kind of shaped out. But yeah. All right. So that goal is completed. And then next up is Walking to Town. This is an old dimensions kit. I had, the past couple times that I showed it, I had made a comment how I was having a really hard time getting into it. I finally found my footing on it. I just needed to do another, where is it? 450 stitches to get my goal done. And that is what it's going to look like when it's done. You know what I'm not looking forward to? Those French knots up there. I'm waiting on those until I decide what I want to do. Maybe it'll be like my penguin and it won't be actively snowing in my little world. So, but the 450 stitches I did were all right there. I figured out where I was on here, and I started working on this part of the house. I got this tree done, and then I was going back in and I was going to start filling that in, but then I completed my goal. So yeah, there's that. It's really cute. I like how it's turning out so far. Okay. Next up is from Modern Folk Embroidery, and this is the stitch along from this year, Reaching Skyward. I will show you my mock-up. These are the colors I'm doing it in. Figure it out. 333 and I believe it's 917. I don't know why that was just being a butthead just now. 336 and 917, sorry. 336 and 917. My goal was to do 1,000 stitches on it. I needed 600 more to get my goal done. I'm doing this on a fabric of the month from Mystic Fabrics. This was from November of 22. The color is Polar Blue. It's a 20 count Aida. I was getting the 20 count fat halves, fat half? Yeah, 20 count fat half from her this past year, but I changed it up and I'm going to be getting, I really should start showing them when I film. I'm going to be getting the 28 count fat quarters, but this is the color of the fabric. I absolutely love it. Look at that. Such a good color. So yeah, I needed 600 more stitches to get my goal done. And I decided to come down here and start working instead of just working in the border because I was getting tired of it. And so yeah, I got 600 stitches on it. And I do have this in Pattern Keeper. I am at 3.14%. I love how those colors are looking on there. So I'm going to be super excited to get this done. Okay. I was thinking about doing next year's. I've been seeing people have it pop up, like showing their color schemes. And I want to do it, but I have so much I'm starting. I might save it for down the road because I don't even have the pattern yet. I might save it for down the road. All right, next up, I saved the two best for last. I'm going to show my finish first, even though finishes are like better than goals. That goal I am like super happy with. So, all right, my finish for the year. I don't need to show you a cover photo because it's a finish, but this is Awesome Myth by Stitch Robia. I did this on an 18 count white opalescent Aida. I think I forgot to show this to you, Mom. I'm sorry. I usually send my mom a photo of my finishes, and I finished this at like 1:30 in the morning, like the weekend after I filmed. So I think I completely forgot to show her. But yeah, there's my finish. It ended up being 1,650 stitches. It was 1,100 cross stitches to complete the cross stitching, and then another 550 stitches worth of back stitching, which really was like 1,100 actual back stitches, I think, because again, for my games, I have to double the back stitch in order for it to count as one. So 2 back stitches is 1 full stitch. But yeah, I absolutely love it. It looks so good. Looks so good. Doesn't that look great? So yeah, Awesome Myth by Stitch Robia on Etsy. The pattern is still available. And I can now put this, let me do this now while I'm thinking about it, in my there's old stuff in here. Look at that. My mom did that for me when I was little. I don't know why we pulled my name out of it. Oh, that's the back anyway. Hang on. Hang on a second, y'all. I have all my finishes from this year in here. Oh, so real quick, we're going to do a little show and tell. I have to put this in a frame, but my mom made this for me. It says, it's not how many finishes, it's not how many are finished, it's how many you start, 2024. Because of all the crap I'm going to have going on next year, I got to put it in a frame. I love it. I absolutely love it. It looks so cute. I got to leave this out so I can get a frame for it. I gotta leave that out. But yeah, real quick show and tell. These are some old little things that either me or my mom did. I don't remember which one, but when I was a kid. Look. Aren't they adorbs? I think my mom did this one, I believe. This was in an ornament. That might have been me. I don't remember why we had these like all fringed out. I don't believe we had them made into ornaments. This was from 1991. Friend to friend. I did this one. Yes, I did this in 2005. Isn't that cute? And I did these ones too. So I'm guessing that these were probably done around maybe the same time. Buzz. And Tweety Bird. And then I think that I did these because I was really into Looney Tunes when I was younger. Like Daffy Duck was my absolute favorite. So here's the piece I was trying to show you. My mom had this in my room. So this is like, 40 years old. She had this in my nursery. I don't know why my name got pulled out of it. It said Jenny's room because that's what they called me, Jenny. I don't like the name Jenny. Please don't call me Jenny. I don't know why we pulled my name out. I have no clue. I can still see the marks from where my name was though, up here. Anyway. But yeah, so this is like my bin of finished projects. So I'll show my finishes from all year when I do my whip parade. Okay, and now I have a project bag. Okay, now here is my year-long goal that I got completed that I am soups happy about. I went back in my old whip parade from last year to find the beginning photo, and holy cow, I've done so much. This is from Stitch Area. Pattern is no longer available. This is Best Friends quotes. It's all stuff from the TV show Friends. My original goal was to do 1,000 stitches a month, to do a total of 12,000 stitches on it for the entire year. And I fell behind for a little while, but I caught up. I just needed to do 1,200 more stitches to get the goal completed, and I did. This was the first work piece. No, walking to town was the first work piece. Then I brought this with me, and then I got this goal done, and then I brought a whole lot of latte, but I was not able to work on that one. Look at that. It's not done. So I still need, I worked mainly on this speech bubble, and I was hating life. I was messaging Alara, and I was bitching about the black, and she was like, are you saying that you're sick of black? For anyone who doesn't know, she is working on all the black in Dragons of the Sabbat. Mr. Whiskers, where you going? We're not done. She's working on all the black in Dragons of the Sabbat, and she has been working on it monogamously for like over a month now. Nothing but black. But you know what? That's your fault for picking that as your challenge. Just saying. Anyway, so I worked, most of my stitches were right here. And I finished the letters in Friends. I still have to do the 2 color dots right here. What else do I have to finish? I have to finish the chopsticks and backstitch them. I have to finish filling in the armadillo and write the word armadillo. The words more turkey go right here. Oh, I finished the cross stitching of the turkey right there. The one that they wore on their heads. I have to backstitch that. I have to put the words wapa in there. I have to finish filling in this. This is Phoebe's name tag that says, hello, my name is Regina Phalange. I got to, so yeah, it was up here and then right here. So I have to finish that. The duck goes right here. I have to finish this phrase, and there's a line that goes underneath it. I have to finish the 7s, this speech bubble that says I know, this one that says big fat goalie, and finish filling in the ghost, and then that will be done. And I'm going to put in Matthew Perry's thing, like year of birth, year of death blip on there somewhere. Not sure exactly where. I want to finish the piece and then take a look at where everything is. I gotta put the pattern back in there. I gotta see where everything like fits and see where I think I would be able to fit his name and then the years on there. Okay, so that's everything I worked on. Oh, let's do my big board. Got my Blues Clues marker. All right. I'm gonna start calling this my government board. All right, this is like, hang on. We only have a couple more weeks. One more floss tube of me showing this, but this is driving me bonkers. There we go. I had to rip that off. That was driving me crazy. Okay. So let's go ahead. Look at all that I've marked off. Let's go ahead and get this stuff marked off, shall we? Oh my God. Okay. First thing I'm marking off is walking to town. And then reaching skyward. Oh, which is way up here. Of course it is. Oh. And then spring sampler. Day to night Africa. Up here. Awesome Myth, which is over here. And that was a finish. Best Friends Quotes. Whoops. Compass, which is of course way down here at the bottom. Oh, you can't see the whole thing. I was looking at the whole thing. That's all I have left, you guys. It's 18 projects. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18 is all I have left to work on. Oh my God. Okay. So let me mark off my 7 goals that I have completed. So that's 4, 5. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So 100, 15, 20, 121 goals completed so far this year. Out of 139. That is quite an achievement. That is quite an achievement. Go me. Yeah, I got so much done so far this year. We still have a few weeks to go. My my next floss tube is going to be right around Christmas time. Like literally the Saturday before Christmas. And Christmas is on a Monday. So I don't have my kids that weekend. I don't think I have any plans that day. So I should be fine to film a floss tube. It feels a little, I feel like everything is really weird right now because as I was pulling my stuff together, I was realizing like I have to film my whip parades. And I still have one more floss tube to film before the end of the year. And then I have to also film a funky floss tube that I'm going to film early and then post later because it's going to be starting the new stuff. Like I'll be pulling new starts out of the basket along with my current whips. And I don't want to show the stuff early. Unless I say screw it and make the last week of December the start of my new year. I don't know. I'm still thinking about it. I'm still thinking about that. But anyway, one of the things that I realized as I was getting my stuff together is I don't need to pull from a basket anymore. I only have 18 projects left. What am I going to do? Just leave, if I pull 15 again, just leave 3 of them to not work on? Like, that's silly. So, that can go over there. So, I'm going to just work on everything. So what we'll do is, I'm not going to show the stuff that I just showed that I still had to work on. Like the Haunted Library Cell, the, Cupid's Cafe, stuff like that. I'm not going to show the projects, but put this right here. I'll show the other stuff though. But we will go over briefly one more time what the goals were. I feel like I have sleepies in my eye. All right, did I get it? Did I get it? Yeah, okay. Okay, so Haunted Library Cell. We'll see if I can finish this. So we'll see if I can finish the goals before the next floss tube. How about that? Haunted Library Cell. I don't think I'm going to finish that by the next floss tube. Of course, all of these are going to be, but we'll try, but I don't think I'm going to. Rainbow Castle, Max Colors. I still need 1,600 stitches to get the goal completed. It's a maybe. It depends on how often I work on it. Cupid's Cafe is supposed to be a finish. Doubtful. Mr. Grinch is supposed to be a finish. Not happening. I Love You to Death needs to be at 30%. I need 1,100 stitches. This is a maybe. This is a maybe. It's pretty easy to work on. Sweet Shop, 450 stitches to get this goal done. Yes, that could happen. Well, that will happen. California Dreaming. So I did 3,400. So I still need 22,800 stitches. No. No. Not happening. A Whole Lot of Latte. This was one of my year-long goals. That's what it's going to look like when it's done. My year-long goal was to put in 18,000 stitches on it. So I had like 1,000, 2,000, 1,000, 2,000, like alternating months. Where is it? Whole Lot of Latte. 13,360 stitches it still needs to have the goal completed. This is my starting point. It's not going to happen. I'm liking how it's looking so far. I'm liking the look of it so far. Okay. get in there. All right. Next up. Is Day to Night Iceland. This was one of my year-long goals. So when I made these year-long goals, at the time, I had made these goals when I was in a group that I'm not in anymore. But I was keeping the goals to see if I could challenge myself to get them done, and I did not. But when I made the goals, I was not planning on having all the other projects worked on as well. They were going to be like, I had 6 projects that I had these huge ass goals for, and they were going to be like my focus pieces. And then I would throw stuff in here and there on top of them. But then after I had declared all those goals on the internet webs, then I came up with the bright idea of doing goals for everything. And that's where everything just like went to shit with the year-long goals. But anyway, Day to Night Iceland, retired chart from Pain Free Crafts, artwork by Lars Stewart. And my goal for this was to get it to 12% because I wanted to increase it by 1% every month. I'm currently at 3.72%. So yeah, that's not gonna happen. Hang on, I gotta move this back. Let me put it down here. So Day to Night Iceland, I need 9,200 stitches to get this goal done, if I mathed correctly. This is what I've been stitching in hand quite a bit, but this is one of the projects I still have in the Q-snap because I haven't had to move the Q-snap, so I just leave it. I just loosen it when I store it, but I just leave it in the Q-snap for right now. And then once I need to move it, I may just start stitching in hand with it. I just roll my fabric. I roll my fabric up and hold it. But that's my starting point. I love how that balloon is turning out so far. I'm going to get these threads worked in the next time I work on it. I'm going to get these park threads worked in. These white on white is like my favorite. And then what I may do is I may try to like kind of focus on getting a thing done. So I'll probably try to get this balloon done and then maybe the basket underneath. I don't know. We'll see. I always change my mind. But yeah, I still have a few park threads to work in the sky. But 9,200 stitches remaining to get my goal done. I feel like that's not right. I think it's more of I need 1,800 stitches to get that goal done. I don't know where that 92, oh, Jesus Christ. 9,200 stitches I've done on it. Oh my God. I'm like, that can't be right. No, Day to Night Iceland, I still need like, what did I do with the... I'll have the math. It's something ridiculous. 1% of the project is 2,580 stitches. So if you want to get out your calculators and do 2,580 times 9, that's how much I need. Next up, Catching Rays. Another one of my year-long goals. My goal for this was to get it to get 30,000 stitches on it. This is my million stitch project. Another one that I haven't had to pull out of the Q-snap yet. This one I may leave in the Q-snap because of how I'm working on it. I have a thread hanging. Oh, I should probably show you what it looks like, right? If you don't already know. This is my million stitch project because the total stitch count is 1,080,000 stitches. It's 1,200 by 900. It's my biggest piece that I've ever worked on. It's from the Cross Stitch Studio. Artwork is by Abraham Hunter. It's absolutely gorgeous, and I love it. I'll show the whole thing in my whip parade, what I've done so far, but this is page number 4. I'm working on it page by page in a checkerboard. I may or may not keep doing it this way. I'm not really sure. I'm almost done with the page. I don't know if I want to keep working on it in a checkerboard. It looks really cool, but at the same time, I'm kind of like, God, I just want to like get stuff filled in. I don't know. Anyway, I still have to do, so far this year, I've done 10,948 stitches. So I still have like 19 and change to go. 19,600 stitches to go on it. What am I doing? What is going on with my life? Get in there. So I'm definitely changing up my like quote unquote focus piece method next year. I'm gonna have one big full cover. Well, we'll talk about that in a little bit. I gotta find something to keep it over. Oh, it's already over an hour. All right, next up is from Cross Stitch for Everyone. This is Ho Ho Ho. I have it on paper, but I do have this in Pattern Keeper, so I'm not really sure. Oh, I printed this before I got Pattern Keeper. My goal is to finish it. If I can find it. Here it is. My goal is to finish it. I'm only at 7.25%. I still need like 8,900 stitches to get this done. And I'm just doing this on a roll of Ada, like silver something or other. That's all I have done. It stitches out pretty quick though, so I mean, I say that, but that's all I have done. But that won't get finished. But my goal is to finish it. Whoopsies. Get back out here. Next up, you belong in here. Get back in there. Okay, next up is my Magic Potion Temperature Sal from Teeny Weeny X Stitch. My goal was to have this done by the end of the year. I am so far pathetically behind, it's not even funny. I'm doing this on a 32 count, I think this is linen, in the color It's a Mystery from Bestitch Me. That's all I have done. That is it. It is absolutely pathetic. I don't even have February completed. I have a start on March. I do not have February. January is the only month I have done. So this definitely will not be done by the end of the year, but that's okay. All right, next up is my Harry Potter Stitch Your Long. Let's try this again. Harry Potter Choose Your Own Adventure Stitch Along from Cunning Cross Stitch. This is really the only mock-up I can show because everything is going to be different. I'm doing this 3 times, one for myself, one for each of my kids. The only one I have not completed the goal for is my younger one, Lachlan. His, I need to finish the outlines of parchments 1 and 3. 3 is almost done. I'm just doing this on a 16 count Ivory Ada. 3 is almost done. I just have to finish in the beige. I have to finish that color through here, and then I have to finish parchment one, and this one will be done. This may or may not be done by my next floss tube. I'm not really sure. Okay. Okay. Next up. This is the only piece that I have not physically worked on all year. The only piece I have not worked on all year. This is Holiday Village from Dimensions Gold Collections. My goal was to do 1,000 stitches. I said in the upper right corner, but I'm just going to do 1,000 stitches wherever I want. That's my starting point. I can't believe I have not touched this thing all year long. I might do the 1,000 stitches in the upper right hand corner. I'm not really sure. I don't know. We'll see when I pull it out. But this one is definitely, even if I don't finish the actual goal, it definitely will get worked on, because that's going to bug the crap out of me that at everything that I've accomplished this year, even if I don't finish all the goals, that I will have a project that I didn't work on, because that was the whole point of this whole mess, was to work on every single project at least once. Next up, I think this might be my first work piece that I bring in. It's a Dimensions Petite. It's called Believe. And my goal is to finish it. And this is where I'm at with it so far. So what I need to do is I'm trying to get this particular color. I'm trying to get as much of it done as I can throughout the piece, because I got to see how much I have left. Because I accidentally did this up here and along here in full cross, and it's supposed to be half cross. So I'm not sure if I'm going to have enough thread. We'll see. I don't really want to pick it out, but I'll play around with it. If worst case scenario, I will, I think I can unpick the part that's going around the middle section and then just do that in a completely different color, like another beigey color. Next up is from Stitching Joel's Design, and this is James Dean. My goal is to finish him. And I am currently at 35.45%. So I don't think this is going to be a finish this year, because I still need over 8,000, like 8,000 something stitches. That's my starting point. It looks really good. I'm doing this on an 18 count Ada, I think in the color Hazelwood by Zweigart. I think it's Hazelwood. That's my starting point. So I don't think that this, whatever my finishes are marked as, like whatever my finishes, if I called for it to be a finish this year and it doesn't get finished, I believe that my goal, like my end goal next year, is to finish them. Pretty sure. Next up is a kit from Design Works with a very beat up cover photo. This is Coffee Break. And my goal for the year was to do 18,000 stitches, right? Yeah. I have to, oh, I was back stitching. I'm like, what is all this black thread? Coffee Break. I still need, like, I have to math. Whatever 18,000 minus 6,800 is. like 11,000 and change. That's where I'm at with it so far. I have to finish back stitching this cup that has the frappe in it, and then finish back stitching the inside of the block here, and then that block will be done and I can move on to the next one. So I might bring this one to work. I don't know. This is like a really easy project to work on. And the last project is another Stitching Jewels design. And this is Sea Turtle. I have 4 of her pieces started. I know of one that I'm going to start next year. I may or may not have another one. Sea Turtle. And I'm doing this on an 18 count Aida in the color, is this Calypso? Do I still have the thing in here from Picture This Plus? Do I still have the tag? Oh, I do still have the tag. Coastal. 18 count Aida in the color Coastal from Picture This Plus. And this is where I'm at with it so far. The only thing I regret is I kind of wish I would have done this with like a gray color instead of black. That's okay though. So I'm just using 310. That's where I'm at with it so far. My goal was to finish it. I am currently at 13.2%. It only has 8,334 stitches on it. And when I had shown it, I had done 500. And I was at 6%. I've only worked on it one time. I did 600 on it and I got it up to 13.2%. So, I mean, it's like, it's not a lot of stitching. It really isn't, but it's like with everything else you know, I have going on. Oh, well. It'll be a finish next year if I don't finish it this year. There we go. So those are all the projects I'm going to work on. Like, that's all that I have left to work on for the rest of the year. I'm going to be doing my whip parade. And I don't know if I'm going to go over my milestones, like every milestone and my goal, or if I'm just going to, here it is. Here's an example. Here's an example. So I have a card for every project. So this is for Sea Turtle. I'll give you a little preview. And then on the back, of course, I'm showing you the one that if I was messing up what I was writing, I would just like rip it up and do a new card. But this one I was like, ah, screw it, because I was like tired. So of course I'm showing you the messed up one. But I wrote milestones on here. And for this one, I said 25%, 35%, like going up by 10% until I got to milestone 7. I said 85. And then my milestone number 8 is to just finish it off and get 100% on it. And my goal is to finish it next year. Some of my projects have astronomical milestones and goals. And like, this isn't necessarily my... So doing this for every single project, that's going to take up a lot of time. So I might just tell you I have 8 milestones with a goal to finish. My first milestone will be to get it to 25%. I might do something like that. Because I think going over individual milestones on every single project is going to be too long. I mean, it's going to be long anyway, but if I did that, it would be like even longer. So I'm still on the fence about how I'm going to do the final Flosstube of the year. I don't know if I should just, cause I'm so anxious to get started on next year that I kind of want to be like, screw it. My next floss tube will be my first floss tube of 2024 because the time that I'm going to be stitching will carry over into the new year. Or I don't know where my head's at. Or if I should just go ahead and show what I worked on and be like, okay, this is what I'm going to work on until the end of the year. And then I would stop the video and then I would do a new video that I would show at the beginning of, like, that I would schedule to post on the first of the projects I pull for a week. I don't know. I don't know what I want to do. And then I'm going to do my whip parade. My whip parade is going to be a little bit out of order because I have my projects here that aren't alphabetized in my containers. And then I also have a couple things that I had ordered that have not arrived yet. I don't know if they'll be here before I do my whip parade. Anyway. I'm like losing my train of thought. I really am. I still have fabric I have to cut for some projects too. I'm still adding to my list. I'm going to have a lot of stuff. Oh, so what I was going to say is these milestones and goals I have set, there is no chance in hell that I'm probably going to work on every single project. I would very much doubt it, but this stuff is going to carry over into 2025. Like if I like how this way works out, I'm just going to keep doing it into 2025. We'll see. Anyway, but I think once I get this new system going, I think I'm going to hold off on new starts unless I finish some, like once I have all my stuff slated. Like this is my list of whips. I'm not going to add like whips and new starts. Like I'm not going to be adding more. I can't start something unless I finish it. Unless I finish something else. That's what I was trying to say. Unless something really pretty comes along. I'm just kidding. So yeah, I don't know. The last couple minutes of this have just been blabbing and losing my train of thought, and I have no idea what I'm saying. So I'm going to go ahead and end this here. And I hope that everybody, I think I feel weird because I didn't pull anything out of a basket. I think that's why I feel so weird. I'm like, something's off. I'm missing something. It's my basket. I still have it. I just didn't pull from it because I only have 18 projects to pick from now. All right. Anyway, I got to get all this cleaned up. And yeah, so take care. Happy stitching. Get a lot of stitches in, and I will see you in the next video. Take care, everyone. Bye-bye.